Okay. So here, you guys got to give me a minute. This one was heavy to do. This is my figure collection, part 5. This one's the big one right here. Oh, it is. It is. This one I'm excited about. Really excited about all with this one. And it's a bit backwards. So I gotta check this. Alright. Cool deal. Okay, so they're in order, but there's no real way for me to actually grab these though. So I'm gonna start here with. I'm gonna start right here on this side, and this is my Dragon Ball Z, my Dragon Ball Super GT figure collection. Yeah, and you know there are still several figures I still want to get before I can say that this is completed. You know, and as we get more into this, I will actually. You know, you guys will hear me say, you know, if I were to ever sell this, how much would it be for? So, I'm going to go ahead, kind of just lift up some of these ones right here, which are important. So, I'm going to start here with Master Roshi and his Dragon Ball Super form. Or, you know, from Dragon Ball when he turns buff and everything. And this is from the Dragon Stars line. I got this figure when I was in Butte. About 5 years ago, 6 years ago, give or take. And here is another Master Roshi figure, and this is an older one, late 90s, 2000s design, and let me see what year this came out. Yep, in 2000. In 2000 by Earn Toys. I actually used to have this one too when they first came out. Very first came out. And Master Roshi was Goku's second martial arts teacher. His first one was Grandpa Gohan. The first villain to really be introduced to Dragon Ball, and when I mean villain, I mean like super villain with powers, right? But also this was the guy that would be in Master Roshi's flashback, and we're talking about King Demon Piccolo right here with this SH figure arts, and these don't come cheap. After a while they become affordable, but when I mean after a while, it's like after a while. And there are still some that I would love to get, but it's that price, man, and sometimes they go to $500. I'm not even joking. Let me go ahead and reach down here. So we have a Goku's dad. Now this figure is not canon, but I'm glad they still made it. Super Saiyan Bardock. Really cool. Now, everybody likes Bardock, or this version, rather than the Super version. And I'm glad they did this one in his original version, because it's still really awesome. And I'm glad they did that. I'm hoping that they'll add Super Saiyan Bardock one day to the video games. Now here is base form Bardock. Now on the Dragon Ball Z episode special / movie, Dragon Ball Z: The Father of Bardock. I actually have it, and I actually do like it. I remember that came out. Now, reaching down here would be the original Earn Toys Bardock. And this was released back in... Usually you can see the years on the back if you find it. Around 1999, I suppose. Yeah, around 1999, but it's maybe a little bit more, maybe almost, 5 years, 6 years before the year 1999. But I used to have this one. I used to have this original one. It was so cool. But one thing a lot of people never understood is why they always came with these little extra things that they really can't hold or do nothing with. I couldn't tell you. But it's still really, really cool. So, there is Bardock. And Bardock, for those that watch Dragon Ball, he was the first character we see getting introduced when he confronted Frieza. Nobody really kind of understood that at the time until later on during the other series. Now, figure out how I'm gonna really grab these ones, because next we go on to Goku, which is pretty much our main character, and we have Kid Goku or Mini Goku from Dragon Ball Daima, which is really cool right there, so I'm glad that came out with that, which is awesome. And then we would have the, a late 90s, super early 2000s, a Goku from Dragon Ball Z figure right here from Irwin Toys. And I used to have these packages and these ones too. This one I don't think I ever had, but I am glad that I did manage to actually get it. I'm going to place him right there. And let's go ahead and grab a lot of these ones out right here. So give me a minute, because there's a lot. Oh boy, is there ever a lot. Almost like not ending. A lot. Go ahead. Ooh, one of these, I'm going to crash bottom. Right here. Okay. So, to really introduce a figure that inspired Goku, or from a real life icon, who Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, he even drew this guy in one of the episodes of Dragon Ball, and that is Bruce Lee. And I got this figure, I think, at Walgreens. You can't really have a Dragon Ball collection without Bruce Lee. So that's really, really awesome. Like, you want to talk about the inspiration for Goku, it's Bruce Lee. And Bruce Lee inspired so many animators and drawers to come up with so many different characters for shows, Now this figure right here is a hard, rare one to find in package. And this came out in 2002. And it was one of my most favorite figures, and it's Goku with the angel wings. Just personally, really, really one of my all-time favorites. And I love it. Just always loved, that in particular figure. It's just one of those ones that is always going to hold, a very special place in one's collection, of one's heart. Now I want to go ahead and get the rest of the Goku ones out before I do continue. So just bear with me here, if you will. I want to try to get these in order. I know the Angel Wing Goku one would seem like a little bit out of order though, which it was a little bit, but not by much. So that figure didn't really come till, I'd say, almost maybe till later. Let me go ahead and get this one out. This one right here. Wow, I got a lot of Goku figures. Okay. Okay. So I showed you guys that one. And that was from the Great Saiyan Man Saga one, but I put them usually earlier because the belt doesn't really match how it should. And let me see. So we're gonna move on to this one here, which this one I never really had it, but I'm glad I got it in packaging from the Cell Saga, a Super Saiyan Goku, and this one came out in 2001, right there in packaging. Now this one's a very hard, rare one to actually find, even in packaging and strong mint condition. It's starting to turn yellow, but it's a really cool one, and it's Super Saiyan Goku from the Cell games when he was in the Hyperbaric Time Chamber in the Saiyan armor training with Gohan. And I'm hoping one day that the people who do the toys now, and it should say here on the back of these ones, which is Bandai, Funimation, and Toy Animation, hopefully they go back and they look at these ones and say, hey, we're going to redo them. But it's still really cool to have, and I would love to see an updated figure of that one specifically. Now, here's the first Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the Buu Saga. So you guys could see how that is. Now back then, they only had pictures to go by. They didn't have like scans or nothing. So not everything's gonna really look as good. But these were still cool nonetheless, and how they were. And this came out in 2002. And I'm glad I got an original Super Saiyan 3 Goku figure. I really am. Now with these, here's another one, and this is from Dragon Ball Evolution, I think. This word right there. And these are new, more like Walmart exclusives. But I got this one. It looks cool, and I have a little bit of these types of ones. Not so much. Not all of them are really. I don't want to say not all of them are going to be worth getting. They all look good. It's just I already got them a little bit bigger scale. You know, but it's always still cool, nonetheless, right? Nonetheless. Now, this is where we get into the updated version of these figures. So the first updated one I would buy with the Dragon Ball Stars one is Base Form Goku. Absolutely one of my favorites, and I actually like it. Going from there, we would have Super Saiyan 1 Goku, right? Okay, that kind of fell, but never mind. Now, I don't want to say for the first time, but you guess you can kind of say it's the first time, even though there was one similar to this. But for everybody, this would actually be considered the first Super Saiyan 2 Goku figure, which is so cool, and I'm glad that this actually happened. Now there is a first one, but I don't really claim it as a first one because it doesn't look like Super Saiyan 2. This one is considered the first Super Saiyan 2, and we'll get to that because it is a loose figure, and I do have some loose Dragon Ball figures. And here we have Super Saiyan 3 for Dragon Stars, which is really good, updated one of my favorite ones, right there. And here we have, I want to make sure that available somewhere here. Let me see first before I move on. Okay, so if you want to go non-canon as well, did get canon, it's Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Now they got the new one where he has more of like red hair, a bit more brighter red, more like yellow pants. I do want to get, along with Super Saiyan 3, Vegeta, and I want to get those next month. But these are so, but I am glad I got this too, because this counts. and it's always cool to really get that. I'm gonna stop the video because I'm gonna be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So to pick up and where I left off at, now we get to this one, which was so hard to get, and I really wish they would do one for the Dragon Stars version, and they won't. And that is when Goku got a taste of God power for the first time in Super Saiyan God. And this was so hard for me to get. When I mean hard, it's sold out. Even though I had the one, I kept holding on. Finally, somebody had one, and I said, boom, there you go. So I ended up getting it, which is really awesome. Now, some people are like, don't you have anything with like Kaioken Goku? Unfortunately, I just do not. I do not. I know. I just don't. Now, here's one. A lot of people, when it came to like Goku's new key, new look for it, only didn't last very long. And it was really refreshing. And when he went Super Saiyan Blue or Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. Really, really awesome figure right there. Now, there. You know, this, then they re-released it, but with his original key right there that he would have on, which is still cool, so it's always really great. Okay. And from here we have Goku from the Tournament Power Ultra Instinct Sing, S-I-N-G, right there, which is kind of like the first stage to a little bit above a first stage of a God of Destruction in the show, almost the taste of angel powers. And then here we have Ultra Instinct Goku, or Mastered Ultra Instinct, and everything like that. So it again, you got to really watch the show. I don't want to go too much deep into it, but this is like pretty much is like on the level of like the angels in the show. I don't know if you guys can see, but this is how many Goku figures so far, right there. And for this Goku figure, I ended up getting at Walmart, surprisingly for a decent price. Thank God. And this is Adult Goku from Dragon Ball Daima, which I barely watched all the way. I didn't really care for it like a lot of people. But still really awesome. Because like comes, you know, in Daima, he got turned back into a kid, and at the end he came back into an adult. But I'm glad, because this is really, I actually like this outfit look. I do. It's like a mixture of the first Super Saiyan Blue Goku outfit mixture with his older one, which is still really, really cool outfit. But you know, all cool outfits in that show don't last long. And to end for the Goku one, we got Chi-Chi, his wife. And it's from Garlic Jr. And this Chi-Chi figure and packaging is back then, even now, really hard to find and actually rare. And was expensive. And she came out for this figure in 2000. So I am glad that I actually got my hands on that, and I had that, bought that about 5 years ago or so, like I did with most of the older ones now. And I now need to grab to kind of finish off now when we go to Goku's son Gohan. So let me kind of get what I need to get here for that. So put these here. And this isn't always going to be, I want to say, the easiest. I'll just say that, you know. I'll just say that part. That like that. Let me see. Because I know pretty soon I'll be moving on to Vegeta.
get all the cheetahs, out the way here, so I can grab the Gohan figures, as it were.
Yee. Okay. Yeah, that was a bit scary. A little bit there. Okay, let me see.
Again, I do apologize for the wait here. Like, this is a lot right now. It is. I said there's going to be a big one coming, so this is the price one has to pay.
Seriously.
This is the one the price has to pay.
Okay, so now I can't with these. Okay. So I'm hoping, let me see, where is she? Okay.
I'm going to start off with these older ones right now. First, I want to keep this in order here. Okay, so the first one here, and this came out in 2000. It's Kid Gohan and the Saiyan armor from the Namek arc with the Key Power Blast and packaging. I really wish, and I do hope, that they do an updated figure one like this. That would be really, really great. But I think a lot of people who are fans of the show and the figures, who remember it back then, would really appreciate that. And this one, this is another hard, rare one to find back then, just like it is now, especially in packaging. And this is Super Saiyan 1 Teen Gohan during the Cell Saga, right there. Now this is where we get a little bit tricky. Not really. Not really. Let me kind of put that there. Okay, so we have Orange Star High School Gohan. This is definitely Teen Gohan at the most. And this is another very hard figure to find. Now, another rare one, same thing, but he's in Super Saiyan. Very hard to find, just like back then, even in packaging. Even in packaging. And this came out, what year? 2002. In 2002. Next is the Great Saiyan Man figure from Gohan. Hopefully one day they'll redo this figure. That would be really cool. This came out in 2001. Go on, and the next one is this one. It was a really difficult one to find. It was not just difficult back then, even now. It is probably one of the most expensive ones I have in my collection, and how rare it is. Gohan in the Kai outfit, the Supreme Kai outfit from the Buu arc. I'm hoping one day that there will be an updated figure of this. That would be awesome. It would just be absolutely amazing. And to end with Gohan, which would be his girlfriend / wife later on, Videl, another hard figure to find. With the female dragon characters, they were always hard to get back then, and there weren't very many of them made. That's what does make them rare and very expensive. And for the first person for Gohan to meet, which would become his second friend in life, which would be Krillin. This is the only Krillin figure I have, and it's the only one I had from back then when it came out. And this came out in 2000.